Okay, let's show you the frontier as rendered in 3D using Celestia as the rendering engine. Celestia always starts pointed at the Earth, and that's because it's made to be an astronomy program for exploring the galaxy as seen from the Earth. All the coordinates in Celestia are based off of the celestial sphere, so if I tried to put the frontier in another galaxy, say the Andromeda galaxy, which is rendered out there as just an image, and I tried to do it once, it's so far away that the angles that I have to calculate to do it end up being, and the distances are so far that the angles end up so small that they're within the margin of error of all the calculations, and it doesn't work. And so I put the frontier in the Milky Way galaxy for that reason. So I created a place just outside the frontier that I call viewpoint. Tab for name completion, enter, hit G for go. Off we fly across the galaxy, and there it is. We just flew past it, pan to the right, or sorry, left. I do know my right and left. And there is the frontier. Let's turn it a little bit. So there is Prenglar right in the center. We're going to center on that. Here's the rim from Zeb's guide out there, and here's the rest of the frontier and the jump points. I got the 3D coordinates from a site on the internet long ago, Ethereum cluster, Pyleum cluster, or something like that, and then adjusted it from there. What I did is I took all the jump routes and made sure that Pythagorean's theorem still works, so that I got x squared plus y squared plus z squared, and take the square root of all that, and I end up with the same distances that would appear on the 2-day map. But I allowed myself to adjust within 1 light year, or a fraction of a light year, x, y, and then use z to move up and down. So the result of that, if I start panning, first I should zoom back a bit. Whoa. And bringing back is there we go. That as I turn it sideways, you can see the frontier is more or less flat, where the jump routes required them to stay flat, and I would adjust them up or down just to give it a 3D feel. Things like the rim jump all the way out, and I chose to do that because that way, from Clay Oak up here to the Vrusk worlds up here, there's no back door into the rim, because it really is a far, far away. So as we rotate around this way and get back to it, there is no back door to Clay Oak. Okay, format clusters up here in the corner, make it remote because I'm kind of like the format cluster. So let's see some fun things that I've done in this 3D map of the frontier. So any of the unexplored stars, I just moved them up and down in the z-axis, this being z when I did my math, and then translated that to celestial sphere. I moved them up and down just to make them part of the reason why, hey, we didn't go someplace that close. Well, because it really isn't that close. So here's all the fun stars. Now, I numbered all my stars, FS, like 1 through 50 something or whatever. And so that way all the stars do have a name. Let's go to someplace fun that I've looked at, or I've made some stuff in. I actually started making different solar systems, simulating them, and making sure that the planets don't fall in on each other. And so I've got a few systems in there. They're not perfect simulation. I think Tara Olbar could probably crash some of my worlds together if he simulated them in his software. But let's go see Theseus. No, not the giant. Theseus, right there. Boom, go. So we'll fly right into it. Here's Theseus right down in the corner. There is the star system of Theseus. Notice how Celestia allows me to do actual proper elliptical orbits and plan them all. And as I go in there, there's the world. So if I go up here to navigation, solar system browser, 12 planets in the system, of which Minotaur is right there. And for fun, I put an Assault Scout there. This is Ray Thurman's Assault Scout that he put up on the SketchUp warehouse and has been on the cover of Frontier Explorer and a couple places like that. I need a skin to paint it with, but pretty dang good work there. Now it allows me to show something fun about Celestia. We're going to pan out looking at Minotaur, and that's just a temporary map of Minotaur. I'm going to select Minotaur. I'm going to say follow. Then I'm going to select the Assault Scout again. I'm going to speed up time. Ta-da! The worlds rotate. The item orbits. Now, if I zoom out a little bit more, following Minotaur around the sun of Theseus. Speed up time a little bit more. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. So we're following Theseus, hence the wobbling of the star. If I clicked on Theseus, I was following Minotaur before. Speed it back up. Oh, say follow Theseus. There we go. And you see everything spinning around it. So let's go back to normal time. Time right there. Other fun things we did. Just for fun, because I do like the Formad cluster a lot. Let's go to Formad 1A. Go to. Okay, sound effects are free. Speed up time a little bit, and you can watch these planets, or these stars, binary stars, orbiting each other. Meanwhile, we got something else orbiting around that. Now, they are orbiting actually around a barycenter, but now, slow the time back down. What is hanging out in this system? Oh, we have some lost friends. Also pulled from SketchUp 3D Warehouse. So we can do some pretty cool stuff. What would be really, really fun is a render of the Nighthawk's space station. That would be really fun. 2 scale against the Assault Scout, and then that would be awesome. Alrighty, so next thing we'll do is we'll go show you some more fun stuff. As I mentioned, I named all the stars FS0 or through 1 through 50 or whatever the number was. 35 is one of the unexplored systems. We're going to go over there, and there we go. Notice, I'm going to zoom out. This is the first planet out from this unexplored star, and there's satellites orbiting it. Planets. Okay? Moons. So we're going to go take a look at FS35-1. Go over there, and we can have fun with the orbits. So we have I came up with this texture to put on it. This is a hot Jupiter. It's scaled to be larger than our Jupiter, as a hot Jupiter would be. I made some storms on it. And it's got some moons orbiting it, one of which, as you can see, is a nice elliptical hanging out. Odd. He's actually, let's go there for a minute. He is a nice frozen ice ball, and I borrowed this one. This is actually one of Jupiter or Saturn's moons. but a nice ice ball. But where I wanted to go, the reason why I made this system, let's go in there. I want him. Is we all saw a nice movie a few years back with some blue people orbiting a very hot Jovian, and I thought it would be really cool to make that and have moons that you could see and also a view of the sun. So this is something a little avatarish, and I'm going to slow down, unfortunately, because what we see at the bottom of the screen is all the constellations trying to be rendered from the wrong angle. So get out of that. I use those constellations, the reason they're turned on is because I use them to do the jump routes. If I turn them off, then I don't have the lag that happens. Oh, look, there's M33, a galaxy, way out there. It's just an image in Celestia. They don't render all those stars because, as I mentioned earlier, you go way far out and the math breaks down because it's so big and you would need a bigger, powerful computer. So Celestia provides for us a nice 3D way to render the frontier. Here's our frontier in 3D for all to love. And for the last thing I'll give you is, yes, the frontier is supposed to be towards the center of a great spiral galaxy. So let's step out of the galaxy and see where she is. Towards the center, between one of the arms. There's an arm right there. Yeah. And to give you a reference, Sol, our home, is out towards the edge. And now as we're in the inside, I can render all of the constellations without really messing up. And as you can see, there's cool things like other galaxies you can see there as we orbit around looking at Sol. And there's our home, all the stuff around it. Fun. Celestia has a lot of other cool things that can be added to it. A lot of additional packages people have done. So, a lot to enjoy. Great way to map the front. Oh, one thing I did remember. Let's go back to the frontier. Let's see. Garu. I think that's one of the systems. It allows you to make hyperlinks and web pages for everything. So let's go in here, and if I go Hargoot, go to. Now, how do I do it? You can go to info. Did that do it? There's a way, and I'm not remembering how to do it. But I added web pages to things, which is kind of fun. And then you can keep track of all your stuff. That is not helping me. Okay. As you can see, I put all these stars in, named them all. Haven't done all their star systems yet. And there's a lot of other stuff that's added in there that's not Star Frontiers, but lots of cool things we can do. But what would happen is you open up the web page, and it's probably a hotkey. No. I've got a paper somewhere with all the hotkeys written down. And then it brings up a web page, and you put whatever you want in the web page. So a great way for players to see what's going on in the frontier and catch up on things and play that into your game as well. Alrighty, let's for fun, let's go nope. Let's go to Theseus. And leave ourselves with a nice view of J. Thurman's wonderful starship, of which I want more. There we go. Ta-da! Thank you very much.